Yes, hello. Welcome to my session introducing SAP Analytics Cloud add-in for Microsoft Office. My name is Jeanne Bigonnet, and I am the product manager of this new tool that we have delivered on the market on last May. So it's a new offer, a brand new offer, which has been created on top of a new technology using a partnership with Microsoft. Indeed, we all know that our customers are a big fan of Excel. So in the past, you had the choice of using Excel spreadsheet, disconnected Excel spreadsheet, or using your favorite cloud solution to make your planning or your analytics scenarios. So that's why we do not want to give you this choice. We had the idea to develop this new solution on top of the latest Microsoft technology. Indeed, in the market, we know that most of our customers are still massively using Excel. And why? Because the Excel gets a lot of strengths, and we know that our customer wants to leverage from these strengths. That's why, on top of SAP Analytics Cloud, we had the idea to provide you a new playground. So using SAP Analytics Cloud data, now you can use SAP Analytics Cloud add-in for Microsoft Office using Excel 365. And of course, you can leverage from your familiar Excel interface and familiar usage on top of SAC data. With this new solution, we provide you different capability. So first of all, as I said before, this new tool is a brand new offer. So this brand new offer, it has been completely rebuilt on top of JavaScript. And this brand new offer is a cloud product. So the first big advantage that we offer to our customer is the capability to get rid completely of maintenance hassle, and also this product will not require any more installation. Indeed, as a cloud product, you have to upload and download it from the Microsoft Store. So you go to the Microsoft Store, and from here, you search for SAP Analytics Cloud add-in for Microsoft Office, and you download it as an application. The big advantage is, as I said before, there is no maintenance pain. And why? Because as soon as we deliver new fixes or new delivery, it will be directly sent to you via the application. And this is great for most of you who are spending a lot of time in maintenance process. Of course, this process can be done individually or can be done centrally by the administrator of your company. As example, at SAP, we cannot do that individually. It's our administrator who go to the Microsoft Store and deploy it for the group or for the colleagues who like to get it. I will explain later in detail how to deploy it centrally. Secondly, what we want to offer you is also the capability to work from everywhere. Indeed, using this tool, you can work online or you can work using the Excel desktop version as well. And of course, if you are using Windows or if you are a Mac user, you can also use this tool. And this is also a great news in the Excel add-in front end. And we have also in mind to give you the capability to use this tool on the tablet, but it's not ready yet, but this is in our roadmap and in our vision as well. And also important to mention here is the fact that this tool, SAP Analytics Cloud add-in for Microsoft Office, is completely integrated with SAP Analytics Cloud. So what does it mean? It means that first of all, you can benefit from the tool as soon as you have an SAC subscription. So you can have an SAC BI subscription or a planning subscription, and then you can benefit from the tool without any additional fees. It also means that the workflow in this tool are completely integrated in SAP Analytics Cloud. And for now, we only support acquired data, so model created on top of acquired data. So, of course, we know that in the future, we will have to support the capability to connect live model, but for now, it's only possible to connect to acquired data, which is, of course, a basic when you would like to do planning. What can you do with this product? So for today, we have, of course, three main capabilities. The first one is that you can collaborate with our colleagues because, as I said before, you can use any device, you can work on using a Mac, or you can work on the Windows environment, you can work using the online version of Excel or the desktop version of Excel. And of course, as we have built this new tool on top of Office 365, you can leverage and benefit from all the capabilities from Office 365 to collaborate, as example, with your colleagues. But you can also, as soon as you have created your analysis and your report, and as soon as you have connected SAP Analytics Cloud planning model, you can do your planning directly from Excel, connected to SAP Analytics Cloud. So we will see how you can enter data from Excel and save back data on real time in SAP Analytics Cloud planning model. And of course, you can create your own analysis, create your own report, selecting the dimension you would like to see in row and in columns. So you can really create and explore your data using Excel on top of SAP Analytics Cloud. So first of all, let's talk about planning. Maybe one remark here is that the screenshot, the picture that you can see in my screenshot here has been taken three weeks ago. And as we are delivering a cloud product, this ribbon that you can see on the top of my screen has been already improved. And you will see new capabilities and new menus on the demonstration of the product that I will do later in this session. So talking about planning, we have a planning capability and a planning menu on the ribbon that you can see here directly on the top of the workbook here. And we will see how to leverage from SAC data to make your planning. So first of all, you retrieve the versions that you have created in SAP Analytics Cloud. You know that in planning models in SAP Analytics Cloud, you can create your own versions. So you can create your actual budget planning, and you can have public version and private versions. So this version can be retrieved automatically in Excel as soon as you have connected the model from SAC, of course. But for now, you cannot create your own version in Excel. It will come later. We will see that in the roadmap. So as soon as you have selected a version, you can start to enter data and plan and write back your data on the real time. We have added recently a capability that we name process data that I will show in my demonstration as well, which support better performance. The idea here is when you would like to enter massive amount of data, you will enter massive amount of data in the grid, and then you will send them at one push to SAP Analytics Cloud. It will improve the performance. And of course, as soon as you have entered data, and as you are working on the version, if you like to share the data with all the other person working in the version and to make the data public, you will click on Publish Data. If you don't want to make the data public, you have also always the capability to revert back data, and the data are not anymore made public in SAP Analytics Cloud. Of course, I mentioned the planning, but you can also make and support your BI scenario and explore your data using a familiar Excel experience that named the pivot table experience. And what does it mean? It means that when you connect to SAP Analytics Cloud, you retrieve the dimension that you can decide to put in row or in column. You can filter on members. You can select different hierarchies. Of course, you have first to create these hierarchies in SAP Analytics Cloud, but they are automatically reflected in Excel. And on top of that, you can add your Excel calculation, and you can leverage and merge from your SAC data and Excel calculation. I already mentioned that. The idea, of course, here is to provide you all the capability and to benefit from all the capability from Office 365. So we have created this new add-in on top of Microsoft latest technology. That's why we need and you need to get Office 365 as a prerequisite to be in position to use this new tool. But as soon as you get it, you will be able to use Excel Online, Excel desktop version, and of course, to benefit from all the Office 365 capabilities. Here in my example, I'm showing how you can share your workbook as soon as you would like with other person using Excel 365 capabilities. Of course, as soon as the product is deployed, so as remember, to deploy the product, you go to the Microsoft Store and you download it as an application. As soon as the product is deployed, you will retrieve it in all the workbooks. So you will see a new tab appearing in your Excel workbooks. And it's exactly what you can see here in my screen. It's a screenshot of this new tab which has been applied and deployed in all my Excel workbook. And this is available on Excel Online and Excel Desktop version. Let's talk now about product positioning at SAP and also the vision that we have for this product. So let's start by the bottom of my screen, which is related to analysis for Microsoft Office. Indeed, today we are talking about a new product, SAP Analytics Cloud add-in for Microsoft Office, which is a product built on top of Microsoft technology and which is a product which is leveraging from Excel 365 capabilities. But we have also at SAP another offer, which is an on-premise product and well-known product, SAP Analysis for Microsoft Office. So maybe you can ask yourself, okay, I have now two offers on top of Office World, and I would like to understand better which product I have to use and when. So it's the positioning that we have written here. I hope it's pretty clear. So really, first of all, it's important that you keep in mind that analysis for Microsoft Office remain a key part of our portfolio. So we continue to support it. We continue to develop on top of analysis for Microsoft Office. But the scenario where you will use it is different from the one where you will use SAC add-in for Microsoft Office. So we propose you to, and we recommend you to use analysis for Microsoft Office when you would like to connect to BW, BPC, S4HANA, and of course SAC as well, but for more BI scenario. When it's come to planning scenario, we really recommend you to use SAP Analytics Cloud add-in for Microsoft Office. Indeed, we do position this new tool as a strong planning front-end in Excel. Of course, you cannot really compare the two products because analysis for Microsoft Office is a really mature product. I think it has been created 15 years ago, so it's a really mature product. And this new offer has been delivered on the market 6 months ago. So in terms of feature set, we cannot compare it. And also in terms of delivery, it's completely different because analysis for Office is on-premise product, which requires an installer, so you need to install it. And again, the new SAC add-in for Microsoft Office is a cloud product, so you get it as an application. In terms of positioning in the SAC world. So here in the top, you see what we provide you in SAP Analytics Cloud as a front end. Of course, for a complete planning process, we do recommend you to use the story as an entry point where you will have multiple users entering data and collaborating together in a planning process. If you like to get a more guided planning solution still on the complete planning process, you can also leverage from Analytics Designer to create your planning scenarios and customize it. And on the top, we have now this new offer, SAC add-in for Microsoft Office, which of course is fully integrated with Excel, so that we recommend you for more ad hoc analysis and planning, and which that you can use for one or more user, of course, involved, and of course for users which are power user in Excel. So saying that, I would like to jump now to the roadmap. So now at SAP, we are using an external link, Roadmap Explorer, where we do record our roadmap. So please, you have the link here. And if you click on the link, you will get constantly an updated roadmap. So here on my screenshot, you can see what we have today on the roadmap. So if we look at what we have today, so first of all, we delivered the product in May. So it's exactly what I said. The product was available on the market in last May. So it's 6 months ago. And with this first delivery, we provided the first planning and the first analytics workflow. Now, for this last quarter of 2020, we would like really to increase all these scenarios. And first of all, in terms of planning, we would like to provide you the capability to support unbooked data. So if you have, as example, in SAP Analytics Cloud, a new product, you will be able to plan on this new product. We would like to support as well the currency capabilities, like displaying data in default currency and in local currency as well. We also provide you already the capability to see when a cell has been changed, so it's automatically highlighted. In planning area, we want also to support this mass data entry mode. So I will show you that already in the demonstration, and it will help you when you will have a massive amount of data, and it will increase performance. And also in terms of planning and of course BI experience as well, we would like to provide you the capability to support ranking when you would like to do a ranking on your data, and also sorting capabilities. So all these are planned for Q4 this year. And now if we have a look of next year, and on the first quarter of next year, we would like to continue to enhance, of course, the planning scenarios. And first of all, we would like to enhance what we name the member selector. So using the member selector, you can select member in your dimension, and we would like to make it much more flexible. So the first capability that we have in mind to support here is the search capability. And I think the search capability can be really helpful when you have a lot of members in a dimension. In terms of Excel formula, of course, we are in Excel world, so we know how Excel formulas are important for our users. So we would like to give you the capability to reference in our table an Excel formula, and when we will do a refresh, this reference will be kept. Today, it's not possible. Secondly, in terms of formula, we would like also to start to deliver the first what we name a cell-based formula. So in the report itself, we will provide you specific formulas which will help you to create fine-tuned reports. As example, I would like to retrieve data from last year and to display it in the specific cell. And this will be possible using Excel formula. And I told you that for now, we are only connecting to data which has been acquired in SAP Analytics Cloud, of course, we know how it's important to connect to live sources. And the first live sources that we have in mind to support is Data Warehouse Cloud. So I would like now to jump to a demonstration of the product. In my example, I will here use Excel Online, and that's why I'm starting in Office 365 page. I have already prepared a workbook that I can open directly from the page here. And you can see I am here in SAP Analytics Cloud add-in for Microsoft Office. So on the right bottom side of my screen here, you see that I have put the name of my SAP Analytics Cloud system, the one I want to connect. So it's really easy, but if you have issue, we have put links here named trouble logging on to help you in case you need help and support for configuration of your SAP Analytics Cloud tenant. And here I would like to spend 2 seconds here on these particular settings that you have to define in your SAP Analytics Cloud tenant. You need to define the trusted origins. And be careful, please read this part, because we have a lot of customers coming back to us complaining about the difficulty to connect from Excel to SAC, but most of the time it's because they didn't have read this information and they did not have set this trusted origin in SAP Analytics Cloud. So it's really easy. And again, you find the help on the portal directly. So from here, I can log and I click on Go. And of course, now I'll be connected to a SAP Analytics Cloud system. I want just also to mention that I'm using a development system which is now much more updated than the version that you may use or that you have already used. That's why maybe you can see on my screen the name Ocean Canary, which is maybe a weird name, but please consider this is the development system name. So you won't have it in your system, but you will see a tab named SAP Analytics Cloud, and it's exactly what you can see on the right hand side of the Ocean Canary here on my workbook. So as soon as I am connected, I need to search and to connect to a model. And please remember that we can only for now connect to acquired model, so model based on data acquired. So in my example here, I have selected a planning model, which is based on acquired data. So now let's jump to the first sheet of my workbook, which contains data that I have already prepared for this demonstration. So let's explore now the ribbon part of SAP Analytics Cloud add-in for Microsoft Office. You see there is a specific part named data where you have to add table, where you can also remove table if you are not happy with the table. And you have also a planning group here where you can publish or revert back data if you don't want to publish data. And we have this process data menu, which help you when you want to send data to SAP Analytics Cloud. Of course, you have also the capability to create and to play with your report. That's why you have here the builder pane. The builder pane is this part that you can see on my screen here on the right hand side here. So you retrieve several information about my report. You can see that I can play with my report. I can decide what I want to see in row and in column. Basically, it's like a pivot table experience. And I have different menus. So from here on the three dots, you can see that I could swap axis, but also decide where to put the totals in the parent node. Here I will add several dimensions. So clicking in Add Measure Dimension, I can retrieve all the dimensions that are part of my SAP Analytics Cloud model. In my example here, I add region in column, but I can also drag and drop directly this region to my columns. So you see as well the totals which are displayed in bold here. I would like to remove that, so I will uncheck Show Totals. But you see as well on the top that I could also decide to show different hierarchies. These hierarchies are set in SAP Analytics Cloud, and same for properties. These properties are set in SAP Analytics Cloud model. So for now, we'll only uncheck Show Totals, and the total will be removed from my grid. I will also display properties here for the versions because I would like to know if my version is a public one or a private one. So selecting the type of the version, I can directly set that in my report. Using the member selector here, I can also decide which version I can display. So note, for now, I can retrieve all the versions that are being created in SAP Analytics Cloud, but I cannot create my own version in the Excel part. So here I will select another target version. And you see, based on the property, that this target version is a private one. So you can directly see that on the grid because we are displaying, as I told you before, this property. So now I would like also to show you the filter on the bottom here. So you can, of course, add filters for all the report if you like. I can remove the builder pane once I'm happy with my report, and I can play with hierarchy. So I can click on Europe, and you will see the drill that is applied automatically, and you see all the children of Europe in the hierarchy of the region. I can, of course, do the same in row and expand the account dimension here in my example. Let's now explore a new capability, which is the capability to directly enter data, so to make planning on the grid. So here I will enter an amount for Germany. You will see, I hope you can see that the data is highlighted in blue, and I hope you can also see that there is no impact on the Europe, which is the parent of Germany. And why? Because to see the impact, you need another action. So I will continue to enter data for France, and it's exactly the same. It's highlighted in blue, and there is no impact in Europe. So to see that, I need to click on Process Data. As soon as I have clicked on Process Data, you can see on the right-hand side of my screen that you have different messages that have been appearing here, sorry. So first of all, we see the information that data has been changed. This is visible in green, and also that the public version is edited. So the target public version has been edited by me, and this is also automatically reflected because now the data has been highlighted in yellow, and also the target version here on my grid is now gets an asterisk, which means that this specific version is changed by me. So this means now that I could completely make my planning in SAP Analytics Cloud. So let's go in the same browser. I will connect to SAP Analytics Cloud. So in the same browser, I'm also connected in my cloud system here, and I am in the story, which is also connected to the same model. And you can see that the target version has been changed, And if we go and look at the history, it's also reflected in the history panel in SAP Analytics Cloud itself. So again, the idea is to show you how to make planning in Excel and automatically connect it to SAP Analytics Cloud. I could decide to publish the data from here to SAP Analytics Cloud, but I do not want to do that. But just for the example, I'm showing you the menu, the publish menu. And here I will revert the data back because I don't want to change this public version. So I will revert automatically the data. And you can see that the data are now back to the initial state. Of course, we are working with Excel, so we could, of course, add in the workbook, and it's exactly the example that I am showing here. We have added specific Excel formula that that I have created before, so you can see that this Excel formula are referring to specific cells or specific calculations, and using that, I will also change my grid and do my planning. So I will copy my operating expense for France here and paste it directly in my grid. And you see again, it's highlighted in blue, and I could recalculate it and I could publish it if I like, make planning. I don't want to do that, so I will refresh. And as soon as I refresh the data, of course, as I haven't clicked before on process data, this data will be deleted without any sent back to SAP Analytics Cloud. So the data is refreshed, the grid is not blue anymore. And of course, I could also, I would like to show you how to link an external cell to, based on what I have entered in my grid. So here in my example, I just have put the reference cell to United States here. If I change the region on my filter, and if I remove United States, and if I add another member, like here my example, Asia Pacific, you will directly see that my Excel formula, of course, is changed as well. So that's all for, I would say, what we can do for now in terms of planning. But of course, as we are working with SAP Analytics Cloud and Office 365, it's really easy now to share what I have done based on SAP Analytics Cloud data. So I can go to share. And of course, I could directly send this report or send the link to other colleagues. So that's all for my presentation of the product. Now let's continue to the slide part. Let's get started with the product. So of course, there are technical prerequisites. Of course, the first one is to get Office 365 license. And for now, you need also to get an SAC tenant deployed on Cloud Foundry. I told you already, for now, the product only connects to data acquired in models in SAP Analytics Cloud. And in terms of operating system, we support Windows, we do support Mac as well, but in terms of browser, we do not support Internet Explorer. Now let's focus on a way to get a central deployment. So if the administrator of your company wants to deploy it centrally, there is a step-by-step guide that I have put it here to help you when he wants to do that. So of course, first he has to log on to the Microsoft Admin Center. He has to go to settings, add-ins, and deploy new add-in. From here, he will go to choose from the store. He will search from SAP Analytics Cloud, and then really easily, he will distribute the add-in for the group or for specific user in the group. So pretty easy. I hope you will try now. So for more information about the sessions during this TechEd, you have all these sessions listed here that I recommend you to follow. from my colleagues. And all the sessions mentioned here are dedicated to planning area in SAP Analytics Cloud. And it's the same here. If you would like to continue to learn in your experience from SAP TechEd for this year, you have interesting links here that I really recommend you to follow, and I really recommend you to read this slide. Thanks for attending this session. I hope you enjoyed the session, and I hope you will try now SAP Analytics Cloud add-in for Microsoft Office. And of course, here you can see my name, you can see my contact, and do not hesitate to contact me if you like for further discussion. Thanks again. Bye.
you